to March. We're so excited that how I cannot even fathom, Michelle, how quickly this year is going. But we have EWN's favorite and only numerologist here to tell us about March. So what do we know, Michelle?
Oh gosh, there's so many things spinning around in my head and about the energy that's going on, as well as the numbers. And I think for me, I really want to put out as much love as I can this month. I mean, we should always do that, but I'm being called even more, I think, to do that. And although you can't see it, my shirt has little hearts on it. And I'm wearing blue and I have pink nail polish, which is, innocent and sweet. And my granddaughter got me this really pretty bracelet with a heart on it. So first of all, what I want to mention, which I think is really interesting, one of the things I had talked about before was about things coming out, things being revealed, things coming to the surface, which we're under that energy this year, and we were last year, we are this year, and even more so. So I just read something, it came to my attention, and I thought I would bring it up about this truth coming out. So apparently there was this massive leak of information from one of the world's biggest private banks, Credit Suisse, I believe. And it exposed the hidden wealth of clients that were involved in, I don't even want to go into it, not very nice things at all. And so for the people who have accounts there, it's been pretty problematic. And so it's really interesting that this massive leak, came out. So what's going on here? I want to also talk again about that Pluto return, which I had spoken about before. And the last time we had a Pluto return for the United States was in 1776, when the United States first became the United States. So this happened last month. However, what I think is important to mention about that transit is this is going to be going on for several years. And what does that mean? That means, and I know that we're all experiencing this, is this major transformation that is happening in the United States. But of course, whatever happens in the United States ripples across the world. And so, although there are a lot of people that are fighting, I guess the powers that be, whoever they are, might be fighting this change, because what it means is an upliftment of all the people, is transitioning into a new way of being, more honesty. And, it's all of these things that for certain groups of people, they're going to resist for sure. So that's happening, and it's going to continue to happen in the next couple of years. The other thing, the reminder, many of us are experiencing physical symptoms, and some of them are very moderate and mild, and some of us are experiencing it even more, and that's headaches, sometimes heart palpitations, little anxiety, dizziness, and all of that. I mean, I'm not obviously I'm not a doctor. I'm not offering medical advice at all. And if anyone is experiencing these symptoms that are of a concern to them, certainly see your doctor. The other spiritual explanation for that is we are getting downloaded with surges of galactic energy, and it is naturally challenging for our physical bodies to acclimate to this download. So if you are, basically pretty healthy and you're having some of these symptoms, again, if you feel you need to get it checked out, do that. but understand that it very well could be the downloading of galactic energy, because we are hopefully, and I don't even want to say hopefully, I know it's a fact that we are being transformed into these 5D galactic beings. And that, you know, to up level to a 5D being is quite delicious, I would say, you know? So, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen right now. I mean, we're in the process of this spiritual evolution, which is really exciting. If you can not get caught up in all of the other the drama of what's going on. That doesn't mean ignore things, and especially what's going on now with Ukraine and Russia. I just want to say, please don't put out any hate. It's easy. Of course, we're not happy about what's going on. Why would we be happy? But we have to open our hearts up with love and bombard both Russia and Ukraine with lots of love, because that's what heals. Hate never heals. Love heals. So that's my little intro and little speech about, you know, some of the other things that are going on. So interestingly, today, March 2nd, I really want to encourage people. Today is a new moon, and if you can, definitely do some new moon rituals, but do them either before 6:30 tonight or after 7:30 tonight, because that's when our class is. So maybe we'll do a little something about that tonight. It's a great and wonderful day to do a new moon ritual, healing energy, connecting to the divine. It's a perfect time to set new intentions. And apparently Pisces and Jupiter are working together. And this is really also very, 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 very special. So again, I'm really happy that Terry and I are starting our workshop tonight. It's just a perfect, you know, day for it. So March 18th is also the full moon in Virgo, and that's going to have to do with details. And that is also about letting go. And March 18th, the 18th is a 9. The 3 of March is creative. So it's a very rich day to have creative ideas on what it is that you need to let go of. And also March 20th is the spring equinox, and that is powerful for new beginnings and rebirth and leadership. So now to get into the 9 personal month. March is a 9 personal month in a 6. Well, okay, let me remove the word personal because that's going to confuse people. Worldwide, we're under the influence of the 9 because March is the number 3, okay, the 3rd month of the year. And the universal year is the number 6, of course, and that's based on 2022. So what does that mean? So you combine the 6 of the universal year to the 3 of March, and you come up with our beloved 9, which is all about endings. Okay, so it's about relationships. It's about endings. It is a very sensitive month. So the lessons for this month is about letting go. It's bound to be for the planet an emotional month. There will be more than one type of ending taking place. And the question is, you know, there may be things that we're unwilling to face that we, do you hear that noise in the background? I'm so sorry. The windows are being cleaned on the house. I'm sorry about that. So let me rewind. So it's really important for us to get in touch with what is our perceived reality and what is it that we may be unwilling to face, that we need to face, and that we need to let go of. And sometimes it can bring even an abrupt or unexpected end. But the universe really is benevolent, and it doesn't remove anything from our life that didn't need either cleansing or it was destiny. There are some things that you might say, well, wait a minute, I wasn't ready for that, that type of ending, or why did that happen? And there are things that are just destined to happen sometimes. So the best thing we can always do is go with the flow. So on the world stage, this ending could mean that COVID is no longer a pandemic, but an endemic. It's a time to clean up and clear out things. It's like cleaning house. So on a personal level, it's just a great month to get rid of things in your home that are cluttering things up. It's kind of perfect with spring cleaning, although spring cleaning may be actually April, but we can start that process right now, especially in a 9-month, you want to do that. So it has to do with home, family, your physical home, your relationships, what's going on with your relationships. Are there emotional, these little emotional packets of energy going on in your life? Are there things you need to clear up? Do you need, since March is 3, are there certain things that you need to say and that haven't been said? And you need to speak those words now. Are there apologies that you have to attend to? Or is it telling someone how much you really care about them? Is there a relationship that you're not giving enough of your emotional attention to? All of that is this month. So again, the combination is really bound to activate all our emotions. And, in some instances, we may be thinking about ending a relationship, and this would be a good month to do that if that's what you want. It has to do again with home. So there may be something in the home that you need to change or you need to end. So I'm going to suggest to people that, don't be afraid of endings. A lot of times we hear that endings frighten us, because we associate it, subconsciously endings are associated with death, with that's it, that's the end of things. But first of all, if you have a really strong spiritual foundation, you believe, that there is no such thing as death. It's just transition. Even in the tarot, the card, the 13, the death card isn't about death, it's about transition. So sometimes, we have to think of what we always have to think of 9 is not something bad. It's just a transition from one way of being to another way of being. So there could be really dramatic situations that are going on right now. Situations may arise that really catch you by surprise. It's also a month of opening up your heart, of giving to other people, whether that is making donations to Ukraine or something in your own backyard and in your immediate family. You may want to offer help and caring. People may come to you with their problems, and conversely, you may go to someone else because there's just all these emotions bubbling over. So this is a good month, to get the help that you need. So what else did I have here about the 9 and the universal month? Okay. again, it's just simply about releasing and just being very aware, paying more attention to the symbols and the signs, because the universe is communicating with us all the time. But we do not see and hear and feel those messages all the time. So 9 can also heighten our ability to be in touch with those symbols and those messages. So how do we strengthen that? Well, we meditate, we get really quiet and we kind of slow things down. We lower things in order to raise our vibration. Okay, it's a month of compassion, to have compassion for other people. Don't be so quick to judge something or to accuse someone or to be impatient. Slow down, observe. Great month to observe. Take care of family and home. And for the United States is in a 2-month in an 8-year. Okay, so that is very much a very female energy month, and it really resonates to cooperation and group efforts and people coming together, but it's also about power. So somehow we will be exerting our power in some way. We're better able to influence others in some way, but however we do this, we have to make sure that we're very tactful and we're very sensitive. So this month can also bring surprises having to do with our global relationships and some type of unusual event taking place. But it's really a month of teamwork, of putting forth your power, but doing it with a group effort. What else? There's a lot that I had written down, but I want to kind of encapsulate it. So it is, believe it or not, it is a good month for investments, business deals. Let's say, as long as you are very sensitive to the other person and what it is that they expect in business deals, to be tactful, to understand your motivation and the other person's motivation. So it's a great month to take a leadership role as well. But again, it's so much about reading between the lines, about being powerful and yet being sensitive. So you can see how if you combine those two, it's just such a winning combination, having strength, but being diplomatic and being tactful. So I think that kind of wraps it up. It seems like there's an awful lot going on this month. And as you had mentioned, Ruth, the year seems to be flying by. I mean, it's March already. It's just unbelievable. So I think with all of that, if we can basically just open our hearts more than ever, be compassionate, be tactful, be understanding. What can you do for someone else this month? And really pay attention to your close relationships and have empathy, volunteer, help others. This is such an important month for doing that, and let go of what isn't working in your life. So I think that kind of wraps it up for March. And I'm curious to see what April's going to hold.
Yes, I am too. Something that really has been in the forefront for me for March, and I know we're only on day 2, is the whole premise of managing expectations.
Oh,
Communication, communicate. And you mentioned several times it is a very sensitive month, and I am seeing folks are kind of on edge, and so they're making assumptions about other people and other things. And I'm finding, at least in my household and my personal community, that need for communication and managing expectations. And you said it, slow down.
mhm.
Slow down. You don't have to react. Take the time, have the conversation, observe, come at things with love. Yeah, it's an interesting time.
Very interesting. A lot going on, and a lot of energy is out there circulating. And as I said, and the reminder that we are experiencing some physical symptoms as a result of this. So, yeah.
And
Yes.
grounded, do what you need to do, folks, to get yourself grounded on a daily basis. Because and as those things come kind of flying at you, you can stand in your strength. And Michele, one of the mantras that was given to me in meditation the other day was to see through it and rise above it.
Wow.
And
I love that.
myself that over and over and over. We don't have to react to everything. We really don't. It's our option.
That's so true. I see it happen all the time. Somebody says something and we react, or we get offended, and we get triggered. And that is just, we don't have to get triggered. And I know that is challenging. I know it. I'm not saying this is a walk in the park. However, the more we practice, the more we meditate, the more we engage in our spiritual practices, the easier that gets to not react, to respond, but not react. Reacting never solves the problem or the issue, because then it goes like this. There is no real communication when you're reacting. It's just, that's it. It's going like this. Nobody's connecting in.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point that you brought up as well.
Oh, Michele, thank you so very much. You mentioned a class. It's starting tonight. Can you tell us about that class?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm so excited because as I had mentioned to you, Ruth, that Terry and I, this just kind of took on a life of its own. And it is a 6-month class. And it is, I forgot what we named it. Isn't that terrible? Maybe it's angelic miracle manifestations. That's what it is. So Terry and I are working together to bring some really, I think, very powerful exercises and information to help us. What is the point of all this? As I had mentioned, we're being downloaded with all of this information because we're moving into eventually a 5D experience, fifth dimension experience. And it's to up-level our spirituality. It's to tap in to be a better observer in our lives, to tap into that divine energy that is always, always, always communicating with us. However, we don't, as they say, have the ears to hear all the time. And that's because we're distracted by what we think we see in front of us. So this is, as I said, a 6-month course because we really would love people to have a profound experience. Because when we did just a 30-day challenge, we were amazed and blown away by the miracles that people had experienced and the enthusiasm. And we knew that it was really important to have that support and to have the reminder to keep doing certain things, to continue with certain practices, to keep you on that track of experiencing conscious manifestations in your life, to have more control over what's happening in your mind, which affects the brain. So that's really the short, and maybe that wasn't really even a short explanation of it, but it's to help everyone to understand some of the changes that are going on and to up-level your life and to be in with a group of people who are also, supporting you as well.
Yes.
So that's it.
Right. It's a private class and it's
Yes.
twice a month for an hour each time.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
If folks want to sign up for this, Michele, how do they do that?
Well, they can get in touch with with Terry, or they can get in touch with me at Michele. I was going to say go to my website, but I'm going to say no. You can just contact me by text 954-444-6955, or you can email me at Michele, and that's with one L, Landers, Landers, at bellsouth.net, and I will give you all the information.
Perfect. And Terry did say that you all are going to record it. So if somebody misses tonight,
yes,
catch up later.
Yes. So it's 6:30 to 7:30 tonight is the first class, and it's a perfect day to do it on the new moon, really. So it should be exciting. So thank you for that, Ruth.
Yeah, so 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern.
Correct. Thank you. Boy, I really need you to keep me on task at times. Thank you.
Yes.
To fill in all those little gaps.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that class tonight. So yeah, thank you, Michele, so much. March looks like it's going to be a perfect time to just slow it down.
Correct. Yes. Take a deep breath and connect into your guides and your angels and your higher self. And you'll glide through the month.
Yep. And what I'm hearing is to remember what's important to you. So if you're struggling with a relationship, remember what it is in that relationship that you want to have continue and be strong. And let that guide your conversations, not the heat of the moment, but that love that you have for that person. Let that guide the conversations.
Perfect, Ruth. Thank you for that. Perfect. So thank you.
All right, friends, thank you so much. Take good care. We will see you April 1. Have a good month.